going to go ahead and call to order the Design Assistance Team meeting for October 9th here for the City of Coos Bay. We're going to do a roll call. We'll start with those that are online, so we'll start with MJ.
Hi, MJ Kariva. Did that come through?
That did, thank you. Judith?
Okay.
Hey, how's that? Can you hear me now? Okay.
We've got Judith online and in the room.
Oh, Andrew Locati.
Ariane Lyons. And
Chelsea Schnabel, the Community Development Director.
awesome, thank you so much. Our first item is public comment, and I think we'll start with Cricket, and then we'll move on to any public comment related to the action item for today.
So I'm Cricket Souls, and I live just outside the Coos Bay area, but it is my address. And I was fortunate to be able to help with the Heritage All-Star, and so I met a lot of different people in different positions throughout things that are kind of the heritage core of the city. And the Marshfield Pioneer Cemetery is fortunate because we have two overseers. We have the Parks Committee, and then we also work with Chelsea on the grant. So there's people that you can come to if you have a question. But I've noticed that the Railroad Museum, the Egyptian, and even the Art Museum have good leadership in their own right, but they come up with questions that aren't really answered, and they're probably somewhat fixable things. For instance, the Railroad Museum has a lot of those big trucks pull in for 15 minutes, run over to McDonald's, then no one can see their sign. And ever since the boat moved in, people don't see their sign. And I know in other areas of town, you've worked with, that becomes a state problem, but you work with the state to make sure that there's a little spot there that the large trucks can't park in it. People can still run across to the street to McDonald's. It'll just maybe be a little bit longer. So this is one thing. They have brand new leadership at the Art Museum. Is it worth considering? I mean, needs a total consideration whether that's something that should be put on the National Register for the possibility of funds in the future. And they're great leadership, but that's kind of out of their bailiwick. So I'm suggesting that perhaps the DAT could take on at one time for parks, each parks commissioner took on a park, and you had that ear that you could talk with them about either good things and bad things. And just like for a lot of the things, I give reports on the cemetery, and Visitors Convention Bureau will come to the council and give reports. Perhaps those people could be scheduled to come to this meeting once a year, just so you know what's going on. And most of them have that historic bent, so it seemed like this would be an appropriate commission to not take on a huge project, but just be an overseer and a helper for some of these things.
I think that's a great idea and something that I look forward to exploring with the city. And then they do fall under the Parks Commission, but it's something that I'll bring up next week at the Parks Commission, something that we've discussed. Because I do think that they need to feel like they have a liaison, and that is difficult. And we have reviewed several things for both the Egyptian, the Art Museum, and the Railroad Museum in the past as this committee. So I think that could potentially work. So I'll discuss that with the city, and then we'll bring it up at the Parks Commission, and we'll see if we can find something that works well for everybody so they feel they have a voice. So awesome. Thank you so much. And then we're going to go down to additional public comment, but you are here representing 580 Newmark Avenue, and so I think we will jump down to the architectural design review application. Do you have any information that you would like to present, or would you just do you feel like I'm putting you on the spot, or?
Well, I am Alice Carlson, and I am the manager of the Dolphin Playhouse. And we submitted this project along with Simon White Owl, the artist, with a couple of goals in mind. One would be to attract more attention to our building, which we are always trying to get the public aware of what it is we do. For example, this last summer, someone told us that they thought we were a strip club because it was a playhouse. So we're trying to elevate that awareness. And then the second goal is that we're part of the coalition in Empire, and the coalition's goal is to bring more art to Empire. That's just been an ongoing. So Simon White Owl is the artist who did the Empire mural on the Star of Hope building. And the purpose of this project is just to paint dolphins on the outside of the building. I think we submitted a rendering that shows what it would look like with the little murals that we already have on there, and we don't think there's a conflict. So I don't know that there's any more to say.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alice. And so we have your rendering up on the screen for everybody to see. I'll just briefly go over the property, the Dolphin Playhouse. It's at the northwest corner of Newmark and Wall in the Empire District. It is in a commercial zone district, also the Empire Urban Renewal District, and within an area where we have Empire Waterfront Design Review standards. And so that's what triggers the need and the opportunity for the design assistance team to look at the proposed change. Under those standards, paint is something that is considered quote-unquote development, and so something that's looked at. So the big thing, I'm not going to go over all the nitty-gritty. The one thing that we look at is the colors from a code perspective. And in the code, in your Exhibit B, page 23, it just talks, there's a proposed historic color palette for the Empire Historic District. And the colors, these blue colors that are on the wall aren't specifically listed in the palette, but we don't think that that means it's not possible to do. So I'm just calling that out, and let me see what else. We'll look at the existing facade. It's those blue colors, kind of evokes the coastal, nautical feeling in the area. And that's the side version from the east. And then also we're putting on here, as mentioned, that Empire mural that's already in play across the street. It's kind of similar colors, similar theme. So staff doesn't see any reason why it couldn't be approved. But we're of course here for design assistance team to give some input, some thoughts. And just your kind of options are approve it. Staff has asked that conditions of approval be that it complies with engineering division requirements and that a final land use inspection is done. But you also could deny it, or you could continue this conversation. So what is your pleasure?
Thank you so much. We'll take committee comments at this time. And Judith, we'll start with you. If you have comments.
What I am seeing looks like it blends in with the surroundings. It doesn't feel to me like it's, pushing the boundaries in any way. So that's my initial impression, certainly.
Thank you. MJ?
Well, I thought the dolphin design worked very well with the existing color of the building and how it will not overlay the murals that are already on there, the paintings that are already on there. And I think that the Empire mural has enough of that blue to match it, to bring it together. Yes, I understand in the historic district of Empire, we had a color palette to work with, but I think the Empire mural has helped sort of expand our horizon on coloring. And I think this blue and these shades of blue for the dolphins would work well. It's not a neon, it's not objective. It actually helps enhance the building. And I think that, again, because the Empire mural has a lot of that basic blue in it also, I think it works well. So I have no issues with it at all.
Thank you.
I have a question when it's
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yes, Judith, go ahead.
Would there be any more detail in the dolphins, or is this pretty close to exactly what they're going to look like? Just curious.
They're pretty much intended to be outlines.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. It's helpful to know, thank you.
thank you. Andy?
I'd agree with MJ as far as the colors and what's going on with the other empires.
Okay. I agree. I think it works well with the murals. I know the city as a whole is focusing on getting more art in our two downtown cores, and the nice thing is Empire's leading the way on that. So overall, I think that it looks great. I think it'll be fun. To me, I know that a playhouse has plays, but that is going to
We also
fun,
play.
fun and adventure and things like that. You might have people come in and think it is an aquarium now, maybe, but that's a better miscommunication. So hearing from, do I have any other additional committee member comments? No. So what we would like to do is look for a recommendation, and so far I'm hearing that the recommendation is for approval. Is there any reason anyone would like to see a continuation of the discussion, or is everyone in favor of approving to move forward?
In favor of approving.
Approving?
In favor of approving.
All right, thank you so much. I'm not calling for a formal vote since we don't technically vote. We just come to a consensus. So our recommendation is that the project move forward as exhibited, and we look forward to seeing it painted. So thank you so
Well,
much.
it'll be a year, so, because
Oh,
of the
yeah.
weather, so.
Of course. Well, and that's the nice thing is we using local people and having a local board involved, we know when to do these projects, so we appreciate it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Right. And so we are complete with our agenda items for today. Are there any other additional design assistant team comments or questions or opinions on things that we'd like to discuss before we close out the meeting? No? Well, I appreciate everybody coming in today. I do have the list of everyone's numbers again, and so I can help assist with reminding everyone in as best as I can. Sometimes I need reminding too. I think one thing, are we going to vote on a chair or have that discussion?
So per the code, every year, we should revisit electing a chair and a vice chair. So if the design assistant team would like to do that today, we can certainly do that.
I nominate Ariel as chair and Judith as vice chair.
I'll second.
So we have myself as chair and Judith as vice chair. Judith, do you accept the role of vice chair?
What would my responsibilities be?
It would be that when I forget to
Sit in
come
the
to,
chair?
when I forget to come to a meeting, you get to lead it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay. I think our general consensus is that, and so we'll continue to move forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I didn't know we voted.
Technicalities.
Yeah, I didn't know we voted on it every year. So they just keep putting it after my name. So I didn't think I had a choice, to be honest.
We appreciate each of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, with no further comments, I appreciate everyone coming in today, and we shall adjourn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Great day, ladies
Too.
and gentlemen.
Thanks for the text.
Yeah.